Three, 2, 1. We're live.
Yay!
Fucking. Can I do a little musical number to start us off?
Yes.
It's stuck in my head, so I want to get it out.
Say it.
I don't want to tell my mom I smoke this weed.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to tell my dad he'll call me weak.
Yes, you will.
I don't want to be the blackest of the sheep, missing their calls every single week. I don't want to say sometimes I do drugs.
Not hard ones.
Fire song. Yeah, welcome back to your favorite podcast, dude.
Couple fucking pints.
I don't think either of us are off the weeds today, but we
Can't
might
be.
we might be.
It's the medicine.
I think I live life off the weeds, dude.
I live.
I'm already doing it. Look at this.
Oh
We're
yeah, you
back.
did. You already
Um,
fucking did.
Nah, mom, dad, I don't smoke weed, but
I don't do that shit.
but also I do. So
I do and I don't. Okay.
what's up? This is starting to seem
I don't.
like
I do. I
the-
don't.
like I'm high energy. I'm excited, but I feel like this is the way I'm talking is like
Composure.
an NPR podcast.
Welcome back to Couple Pints Pod.
Welcome
This
back to
is
Couple
us
Pints
on
Pod.
NPR.
Your favorite station.
Today we're going to talk about chlorine filters
How it's made.
and when you should change yours in your pool. This is John Tesh Radio. For information and more.
Welcome
tune
back to
into-
Elvis Duran in the morning. You're from New York. This guy gets it. All right. What up, guys?
Oh.
Let's get serious. I love the cold opens. Fuck the theme songs. We're fucking back.
We're behind
Episode
that.
48. Daytime podcast, if you couldn't tell.
It's bright, but we put.
We're
if
pale.
you could see
We
what we
need some
put over the
bronzing.
window,
It's sad because like you're way more tan than I am, but like we're about the same. But we're very tan, but we look very white.
we look pale.
Look at this though.
Farmer's
God
tan.
damn.
Farmer's tan.
God damn. Teardrops for days, dude. We're crying over here, dude. I don't even work out. Anyway. All
So
right. We got a long one today. Colin took a lot of notes.
yeah, official notes.
Said I'd do research. Didn't.
But before, where's my phone? Where's
Oh
my
yeah,
phone?
yeah. Shouts out
Fucking J. Cole.
KCBC. Oh, yeah, dude. Fuck.
Fucking J. Cole.
It was my idea to do this and I forgot. Dude, J. Cole's new album.
Oh my god. Off season.
Oh my god.
Shit. Holy shit.
Talk about off season though. Like,
J. Cole does.
what's the last shit he dropped? Dreamville
Actually
3
what
or
is
whatever it was?
I want to.
He dropped the album with his own label. Then this dude comes out of fucking nowhere. We got the climb back. Amazing song, incredible message.
Yeah, Revenge of the Dreamers 3.
Revenge of the Dreamers 3. That's with his label Dreamville. But dude, this J. Cole album, the off season.
Oh.
Shouts out last week. Saw an ad for it in Times Square on my overnight shoots. And I thought, all right, cool. I listened to it today on my way up here because I'm still living in Brooklyn. Outrageously good, dude. Every fucking, like, I don't know if I've got excited about music on the pod before because it's been 48 weeks. Shouts out Quarantine Podcast, and we're the only ones still doing it. Also, I'll tell you after, but we got mad love for still doing it from like a lot of people. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But dude, this, like, we all know J. Cole's the best, right?
Yep.
We all know he's
undeniable.
Yeah. Of at least our generation, the greatest rapper. I don't even want to say the Tupac, the Biggie. He's J. Cole.
He's J.
He's in his own lane.
He's not compared to other people because he's himself.
He has a line about that, which
Right?
is sick. But also throughout the album, he shouts himself out as the GOAT, which finally it's like, for a while, like after 2014 Forest Hills Drive, he knew he was the top of the top.
Yep.
But he's dropped some shit since then. He's done a little bit of features. He's done this. He's toured. He's done that.
Dabbled.
This album, dude, like so real, so good.
If I could scream and yell, you know that skit from Key and Peele with the two bus boys in the front of the hotel when they're talking about movies.
Yeah.
If I could scream and yell,
My man's J. Cole's.
talking about J. Cole. That's my shit.
Oh, I wish I could do
right now,
VFX, dude.
oh, dude, if we could explode on camera right now, we would do it. That's our shit.
Fuck, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, Fire album. If you haven't heard it, unreal, dude.
Listen to it.
It also, it just,
Do it.
yeah, it's a lot in the sense of like J. Cole's kind of reflecting on what got him to this album, but also as someone who's trying to find that lane and went to hell and back again, like I really connected with it. And it's, if you grew up in the shit, and I think everyone thinks they grew up in the shit, but if you really grew up in the shit, listen to that, dude. I'll probably listen to it on my return trip to
I've
Brooklyn.
listened to it 3 times already.
Fuck, it's good. Aside from that,
God
let's
damn.
lighten it up a little bit. Shouts out this bitch.
Dude, holy shit. If you ever see the Kings County Brewers collection
Fire. Shouts out Brooklyn.
in any beer selection,
Any store.
buy it. I just drank earlier the Fast and the Furriest. That's right, you heard me, Fast and the Furriest.
Meow.
It is a delicious IPA.
Yeah.
It's an Indian Pale Ale.
That's what IPA means.
Well, yeah, but I wanna express
super
it.
fruity, super tasty.
Yep, 6.9% alcohol by volume.
Oh, fantastic
It's-
percentage. I didn't even know that.
Right. That's how they top it off for excellence by adding the 6.9%.
If we had a better camera, I'd say show them the can because it's a very,
Actually,
very detailed can. The whatever artist did this, shouts out you as well.
Is this any better?
No, it's terrible. That's why. I guess. I don't know. KCBC, shouts out you, dude.
We put it on our story, but
we've been chatting.
No, fucking KCBC. Holy crap.
Incredible IPA.
You crushed this.
Yeah.
Absolutely crushed it.
It reminds me of Juice Bomb, which I've also highly recommended on this. But it might be a little bit better.
Just to keep stacking on top of what we got going on here, you want to know where I got this one?
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Does it have to do with Climbing Wolves?
You know it. Climbing
Shouts
Wolf
out
Brewery
Climbing Wolf, dude.
in Dobbs Fair, New York. They do coffee and beer. Check it out on their Instagram.
What's better?
Also, their coffee,
fire.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, that's what we served in the parlor. Shouts out the parlor. You want to sponsor us, dude? Yo, Dave,
Top
what
notch.
up, dog?
Holy crap.
Yeah.
And the beer selection they have.
Whoo. Dobbs has some nice shit going on.
If you follow me, you've seen, this is day 3 of the Craft Beer Slut Chronicles.
Which I made up.
They
give me credit for that. I need credit for that.
They got all that, everyone you've seen so far, Climbing Wolf Dobbs. Okay?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Every single one you've seen so far, Climbing Wolf Dobbs.
All right. But also, as you know,
shout out Budweiser.
Anheuser-Busch. Sponsor us, please. Buds for days.
We got them horses.
I almost put my Budweiser shirt on, but I love my iPod
We
Leaf
got them
shirt.
horses in the back. Horse stock
Don't say
is
that,
attached.
dude. You don't like Lil Nas. Don't be a hypocrite.
Call me by your...
Still haven't listened to that one song we
Neither
got a
have
heated debate about.
I've
All
only
right.
seen the fucking bullshit reels.
Let's kick it off, bitch.
Woo! All right. So we're not bullshitting you this time.
This is, what do we call it?
Was it a conspiracy corner science section? It's both.
Historical Hitta.
It could be a historical Hitta. This does wrap everything in.
This is a, yeah, like last week.
Yeah.
This is a conspiracy ridden historical Hitta. Let's get it.
Yep. And so I'm starting off by telling you, I got this straight from CIA.gov.
This is the most official research Kollin has ever done.
That's how much I that's how much I looked and dove in for this.
Mr. Worldwide.
It is the...
Oh my God, we've already been going for 10 minutes.
Right.
Speed it up.
The Soviet Union's use
10 minutes?
of, what was it, the parapsychological research. Now, that may be confusing, but what it is they dove in to looking and trying to achieve soldiers that have clairvoyance or remote viewing to acquire intel from other forces, telepathy to influence the physical slash mental state of targets
Logical.
or individuals
All
and
right.
create secure connections
Yeah.
from anywhere,
Good stuff.
precognitions or being able to tell the future,
Okay.
and psychokinesis, which is the power to influence matter by one's
Telepathy.
mind, or yeah, like in fucking any Force movie or Stranger Things. The U.S.
Basically, wait. Let's sum this whole thing
Oh,
up
good, because I
because
put a literal shoot the ship break.
okay, we have a point to get to. Basically, what we're talking about is, as you pointed out right before we hit record, the opening to Stranger Things.
Yep.
Where, to tie it back into episode like 15 or 16, took place at Camp Hero,
Mm-hmm.
one of the testing facilities. Shouts out Montauk. Shouts out us. The opening scene to Stranger Things, where Eleven is like tied down and she has
With
a
the
shit on
helmet on.
and she's like fucking breaking soda cans and shit, and then she like kills the guards, and how the whole thing starts.
Yes.
That's what the show, or the backstory of Eleven, not the show. The backstory of that is essentially what we're talking about today,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
So give
All
us some
that.
details. We don't
All right.
need, now we're caught up.
So these tests have been
This
going
also
on.
originates out of the USSR, which ties into season 3 of Stranger Things, which hasn't come out yet.
No, it has it. Yeah, it has.
Season 3. No. The ending of season 3, when it cuts to fucking my man's Hopper in a Russian prison gang. That's where this whole shit
That's right.
really ties into the show.
Okay. So
We're bringing
let me
everything
look
full
and fast
circle out
forward
here.
here. Okay, so they got heavy into this in the early 1950s and 1960s. They got so into it that they
Cold
started
War
making it
shit.
public.
Yeah.
Now the public started getting all worrisome
The
about this.
Russian public.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the USSR deemed it unscientific and
Was
belittled
it
it.
still the Soviet Union when they become the USSR? Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter either
Russians.
way. So their own government, because of how well they were doing and
Yeah.
how public they made it, started bashing it and sent it
Okay.
underground.
Yeah, it makes sense.
When they sent it underground, of course they kept going, but the projects they had almost made it too true. And that's when all those public documents, that's when America got a hold of it and started researching it. When America started researching it and trying to figure it out, they finally were able to capture two Soviet guards who took place in all these experiments and were trying to train for clairvoyance and remote viewing. When they captured them, and these are exact details, they were interrogated. They mentioned multiple remote viewing projects that the US was working on,
Yeah.
and they mentioned two facilities that were top secret, and they mentioned details about the facility. So, of course, while they were being interrogated, instead of them taking on the force, they flipped it on America and said, well, we know you're doing all this shit. Why are you interrogating us for doing it? We already know what you have and what you already been doing because we've been doing it for so long. How can you call us crazy?
Cold War, baby.
Yep. Another one, a 1960s document stated that a G.A. Sergeyev researched telepathic communication and trying to influence remotely the behavior and or psychological well-being of unwitting targets.
So Men Who Stare at Goats.
Yep. In
Great movie.
1970, it was proven true
Oh,
by the
that's Men Who
US.
Stare at Goats. Yeah.
It was proven true. They finally
Was
conducted.
wait, another shit session.
Oh yeah, by
Was
the way, before JMac tells you this is, if you've ever seen the movie Men Who Stare at Goats on Netflix, that was the US's try at replicating
what's
what the
literally
Soviet
what you're
Union
talking
did.
about right now in the
Yeah.
70s. But I was going to say, isn't this whole thing MK Ultra, or is that something else?
No, MK Ultra was a mind
You got
control.
me so deep in this whole shit. I don't even know.
Side tangent, MK Ultra was a mind control technique where they put acid, in certain water for towns, and they tested
Oh yeah,
the
yeah. All right,
towns and all
yeah,
that
yeah.
bullshit. Yeah. This
But
is this
now
is
we're getting into historically the true story behind Men Who Stare at Goats,
yes, this is them
starring
trying to
George
create a
Clooney. Great
Professor
movie.
X
Go
in real
watch it.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Telekinesis, all that
All
shit.
that shit.
Yeah.
They found it was true And the way they did it was they flashed a light at a repetition rate of 16 hertz directly at a remote sender.
It's very bright.
So when they flashed it at the remote sender, they found they were able to trigger it. They also found out that, you know how it's claimed that some people have the power to manipulate electronics like dim lights or
Yeah.
flicker lights. They found that to be true. So you remember in the opening credits
Shouts out Stranger Things.
when oh,
11.
no, in Men Who Stare at Goats, Clooney,
Oh,
when Clooney
yeah,
walks by
yeah.
the computers and they all start
Yeah.
flickering and shit, the US found out that can actually happen, and they
Okay.
had soldiers who did it,
Okay. Of
which is the even
course they
crazier
did.
part.
See, but the other thing is, and I feel like I said this when we watched Men Who Stare at Ghosts, pre-podcast, early quarantine, everyone was on acid.
Very true.
So, like, were the computers flashing?
Well, if other people are seeing it happen and recording it while
But
it's
if other
going
people
on,
are also just as drugged up as you were, like, it's
but if it's
look, I'm
research,
all
they
for
can't
this.
have it.
I'm all for this, and I have outside sources who can validate that. Like, I am excited to discuss this, but at the same time, there's also government documents that prove that the people who are testing these like Men Who Stare at Goats dudes and these MK Ultra people and all these psychedelic procedures were
Trippy fucking
also
hippies.
on psychedelics. So
So they
like,
could be a part. They were like shamans, but in the government.
no, just everyone was tripping.
Oh yeah, like that scene where the one general goes to the camp to
Yeah.
reform his
And
life,
he's
and he
tripping
starts.
balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like realistically, in the real world right now,
Okay.
how true could this be? Because I got some
Well.
stories from the couple times I tripped, probably didn't
Well.
happen. You know what I
Here
mean?
we go. So on top of that,
They had just one fact checker just
they
on a
kept
typewriter.
looking into black magic. So of course, evil witches and all that. In 1969, the
Them dark
Soviets
arts,
established
boy.
an official group in their covert program devoted to collecting info on black magic. Headed by D.G. Mirza, it had its own secret lab and identified, located, and evaluated the capabilities of sorcerers, witches, and other in what is that? I can't even read my own handwriting.
Sick, dude.
Intan- intantiacious or
And that's
curses
how
or
David
spells
Blaine was born.
like that
Magic.
shit by people. And it was so successful and they found so many people that it's still implemented today. When I got finished with the article and I got to the facilities, the secret facilities that were unclassified because of course they were shut down, the ending of it was the research on the black magic
Wait,
project that
what's
they
still
had.
today?
What's the what?
What's still going on today?
The black magic project. They're still looking into that shit. They're still looking into witches and warlocks and sorcery and spells, and which leads us to multiple episodes we done of the rituals.
Yeah.
So if it's still going on and they're still looking into it, how much does that back up everything we've said that multiple other countries and nations are doing it? You gotta know. Couple Pints said it first.
We've been saying it first. So you obviously think this is true.
Not only do I think it's true, the fact that there's been so many movies and TV shows
Yeah.
and researches and studies done on this, and the fact that even in our own history books, we talk about a
Yeah.
period where they were burning witches at the stake because they found it so real.
Shouts out Salem.
That's why I think this is fucking true.
Yeah. I mean,
It's everywhere.
I have to do my job here, or else I'm useless.
Lay it on me.
I completely
Lay it on
this
me.
is I said to you when you sent me this is one thing I do genuinely believe happened because there is evidence. Obviously, we got this off the CIA's website.
Yes.
But at the same time, you have to think like I said, that's the only fact behind it is there's also concrete evidence of the people conducting these tests
We're
being
tripping
just
sack.
as fucked up as the people going through them. But
I
also, you have to think during a trip, everyone experiences something different, right?
True.
So imagine yourself being the person conducting the test, high as shit, versus the person experiencing the tests high as shit. You know what I
Excuse
mean?
me.
I think that's why it makes for such a
I
good story, because the people recording it definitely uh played around with the details, if you will. Not, I don't want to say
had to.
exaggerated,
No, but they had
but
to
possibly even
manipulate some
they experienced the details in a different way other than reality.
Mm-hmm.
But also the people providing the details as test subjects, we know from film and from history and from things we've heard that they are to this day fucked
Fucked
up.
up.
So
So
that's what
fucked
I'm
up.
saying.
See,
This is like good trip versus bad trip shit.
I agree with everything you're saying, but it also brings me back to the movie Men Who Stare at Goats.
Awesome
Because
movie.
in order for the projects to be
Who
funded,
was his co-star? Was it Ewan McGregor?
um,
I think it was.
well, I know Kevin Spacey, that kid did a little was in there too.
I just remember watching it with you
Fuck you, Kevin Spacey. But
early quarantine.
oh yeah, that was before I even went home. But for the projects to be funded and passed, they had to be viewed by the general who was commanding over the officer they said could do it.
But also in Men Who Stare at Goats, there's an entire 20-minute scene about how the general is also high on acid.
Yeah, but he
That's
also
what
has to
I'm
be
saying.
watched by the others with him.
Well,
It's
yeah,
not
there's
just
people
him.
above a general.
So they
But
obviously watch the
that's what I'm
program.
saying. Ultimately, the guy who gets the okay is high as shit.
But if the
So
people who
how
gave
much
him
of it
the
is really
okay
that
watch
true?
it and say
It's sort
that's
of
that shit, that shit I just saw happen, are you kidding me? That's real? You know what? You were right. Here's more.
yeah.
Here's more. You need to keep going. Holy crap.
Yeah, but it's also not the
You just
first
found
time.
someone 3,000 miles away in a bunker underground by sitting there and meditating and
Okay,
clairvoyance?
now we're in 2006. Calm
Okay,
down.
either way, but the Soviet Union, when this was happening, if someone was able to find someone anywhere by even mistake, that would be a fucking, you have superpowers. They would say you have superpowers.
Yeah,
Even
I
if you
guess.
guessed, even if you guessed and you got it right, you have powers. You are super. That's in. I also find it very hard to believe that the CIA, when questioned about this, would say we cannot comment on if this is real or not.
Well, that's what they always
We,
do.
I mean, but at the same time, they could easily go, no, this is complete bullshit. Back the fuck off.
Okay, that's what they always do.
But the fact that they're going, we cannot confirm or deny that this is real, but we cannot tell you any further
But
information.
that's like some classic political bullshit. Like, you
True,
know that them saying we can't
true.
confirm this is real means this is 5,000,000% real. That's just the
There you go.
mindset I have
There you go, though.
regarding the US government.
So if they're
Whether
saying
it
that
was
about
FBI,
this,
CIA, fucking let's go to Europe, MI6, shit like that, we can't confirm whether this is real or not. That a hundred percent
100%.
means it's real.
You know what? Where's some other fun facts I have in here? There is
The whole thing's
so.
wild, dude. Can we zoom out for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
The fact that this entire conversation between us right now even exists is absurd.
Right?
That we're debating whether multiple nations' governments used psychedelics to possibly train soldiers to be telepathic to upgrade them during the Cold War. The Cold War, where not a bullet or missile was fired. Like, that's the
Oh,
point we're going to here.
that's where we're going. That's the road we just
Unreal.
went down.
Meanwhile, I trip acid in public, probably gonna get arrested. You know what I mean?
But but your government will say you can do it
But
for free.
if I had my colors on, it'd be okay. Shouts out veterans.
If you got those colors on, you better trip and find someone for us.
Dude, it's like that's why I was excited to talk about this. None of it makes sense.
Right?
It's not even a conspiracy. Like, whether let's say a couple months from now we find out like all of this was like some Edward Snowden shit that was way too glorified, none of it made sense, and I'm not saying
Ooh.
Snowden's a fraud,
No, but I
but
get what you're going
I'm
with.
saying like none of this legitimately to the T happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still the fact that it's even an idea just perplexes me. Like I'm so interested. I wish I could like just be a fly on the wall in that room.
Okay.
Like men who stare at goats.
Yeah.
When they're in like they have their little building
Their secret
where it's like, all
facility.
right, everyone take your fucking tabs and let's figure shit out.
Let's get it going.
Based off what I've read and what I've heard about this before we went into it, that definitely happened.
Had to.
But
There's
like,
no question.
holy shit. That's what I'm saying. That's like for me the craziest part that was even an idea
Well, I have.
in a government official's mind.
Yeah. Well, they're people. They're just fucking people. They just happen to have a high title and no shit. They're just people.
But that's what I mean.
Every
You're
single
that
set.
guy. You're that's the perplexing part. You're that guy with a high ranking title and you're like, "Oh fuck. All right. The Russians are probably going to nuke us. What can we do?
Fuck.
Telekinesis.
Give me a tab.
How are we going to achieve that? Acid.
I'm gonna take this tab and I'm gonna talk to you through
And
that wall.
I'm going to redirect a rocket, a nuke as soon as it's about to hit us."
So think about the precognition. You ever had that situation where you think about someone and all of a sudden they call you?
Yeah.
You ever have that dream where you see something and all of a sudden it happens in the future?
Yeah. It's called The Secret. Great book, great movie.
Well, think about that. If that happens
No.
and you accurately depict it,
They didn't manifest, let's use psychedelics to win the war.
no, not the psychedelic fact, but even if some soldier was meditating or in some sort of trance and was able to see something or accurately talk about a facility that may not be known to the
But for
public,
me, that's so rare. Like
think,
it's one thing.
but it happened.
It's one
It
thing, and
happened.
it actually happened to me this week. It's one thing to think about someone and them to text you, "Hey, what's up?" versus
Seeing a
how can
facility
we
and it being real
how
when
can
you've
we
never seen
end
it.
a potential World War III? Acid. Like that's a
Acid.
stretch. That's a little bit of a
Tripping
stretch, bud. Give
balls.
me the stretch. You know it's a stretch. You know it's a little bit of a stretch.
It's a little bit of a stretch. It is. But I still believe in the fact that the way they went about it, they didn't always use acid. They used meditation. They use um what's that? Hypnosis.
Hypnotism.
Yep,
Hypnosis.
hypnotism,
Hypnosis is right. I'm wrong.
hypnosis.
What's up, buddy?
They put them in um not I'm trying to remember of it.
The like
Um in the sensory deprivation, they
fuck. I was trying to remember
sensory
deprivate. I
deprivation,
was gonna say
they
the
put those in
sensory
those type
pits,
of
but that's something
situations.
totally different.
And when they put them in those situations, that's where they got the information from because they accurately got it.
What, the spies that they captured?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So the spies, when they were interrogating them, of course they had to release how they figured it out. And the way that the US got it out of them is because they slipped and said, well, this is how we went about it. This is what we did. This is how we saw it. Which in the whole article, and you can find it on CAA.gov. I'll probably have to pull it up on my laptop to find out how you get there. But if, because you know, every single sci-fi movie, if someone's telepathic, they are either in a sensory deprivation, they have a headset on, or they have some sort of ability to see the future or see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
All of that
Allegedly
allegedly being true,
happened.
stacked on all of that allegedly happening back during the Cold War, and then being stacked on top of even fucking Hollywood piggybacked on top of that, and our government and the Russian government is still looking into this shit. I mean, that for me alone just gives me enough to believe that all right, this there's no way denying that this has to be somewhat true.
Yeah. All right.
Now, they may stretch it to put in a little false information, of course, but for the most part, remote viewing, telepathy, and I also believe that there is someone or a few people out there who are able to move or affect electronics with their mind. I think that is plausible.
Okay, so you genuinely believe in the three things you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Telepathy, moving shit with your well, that is telepathy and whatever the fuck else you
I
said.
firmly believe in that because
Really?
astral projections.
Firmly.
Yes, you know how people talk
See,
about
but
astral
Ash
projections,
totally different.
but that's remote viewing
Totally
at the same
different.
time because you're
But it's
out of.
all
It's an out of body
it's
experience.
but it's self-involved. It's not for your country. See, if I had a dream or a projection
Mm-hmm.
and I foresaw some American ending event and I somehow convinced CIA, FBI, the powers above normal civilians that this was a thing. If that had occurred, maybe.
Maybe.
But this isn't projection. This is let's give some kids who signed up a shitload of drugs and see what they have to say. Like I'm a firm believer of projection and I miss my whole point and I think in terms of projection and things of that nature, it's all about oneself. It's not
Hmm.
about one's community. You can't see that. Like if I had a dream about you, let's say I have a dream where you get in a car accident.
Okay.
I'm not gonna text you and be like, "Hey, bro, drive safe." Does that make me a dick? I don't think
No.
so. I just think I'm not on the plane to be like, "This is definitely gonna happen." Like, how do you get there?
But
That's my question.
all right. So let me rebuttal that with how there's die-hard people who would die for their country.
Sure. Yeah.
My country's the
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
best. Well, obviously during the Soviet War,
Cold
those are
War.
the
Yeah.
people that would sign up to be with the Soviet army. So if they're taking those
Well,
people
that's how it is with any war.
who if those people are that diehard where they literally sold their lives to them and now they're in this deep secret faction of the government where you're taking acid to project yourself to see other fucking places, you're gonna you're willing to hold your secrets for your country to the grave no matter what happens. That's my rebuttal to what you have to say. Those people exist and they are everywhere. And no matter what happens, no matter what they get themselves into, they will not spill the beans because they have that much pride for where they live.
Yeah. I guess I'm just biased.
That's a
I don't know.
fact check.
None of this makes sense.
Mm-mm.
I just knew we were gonna
Not at
chat
all.
about
But
it.
I love it. Hey,
Yeah.
you ready? I'm going to flip that light on. And when I sit back down, you know what we should do?
What? Oh shit! It got dark real quick.
Yeah,
What should we do?
transition.
We don't have any current events, so current events this week sucked, folks.
Did they really?
Yeah,
I
like
think I took a
nothing
screenshot of one or
worthwhile.
two. I think I did. Uh, oh, oh, I did find one. I found one on Tuesday. It piggybacks off of episode 46. Ice. No, no. Which one
What are
did we
you?
talk about? The ice wall.
That was Tamichi, maybe like 43.
Well, a Nazi map was found that supposedly shows
You and the
directions
maps, bro.
to reach an underground land in Antarctica. This was stated in a letter from a German U boat navigator, Karl Unger, who also claims that a U boat U 209 made it to Antarctica and confirmed that there is a kingdom within the earth. I also found something else
So
that,
you're back on the Earth in the Earth shit
well,
as well as MK Ultra.
I read something the other day because I've been reading a lot lately.
Sick, dude.
I've been reading a lot, which is hard for me, but I'm doing it. You remember how we talk about the inner earth bullshit?
Yeah.
I read something that
Thanks for
talked about
saying
it
it's bullshit.
being a honeycomb. So there's pockets of solid earth, and then there's pockets of big caverns. And it's that way the whole entire down.
Okay, but also those caverns are full of molten lava.
Well, there'd be
Full of
caverns of molten
molten
lava, but there's
lava.
be other caverns that are just completely untouched.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Caves.
but there's that honeycomb theory made me think of all the arguments we had and was fucking great. Oh, Oh, also, Melinda, formerly Melinda Gates, came out and was talking about one of the reasons that she left Bill was because
Dude,
of his
I
ties
read
to
that article
Epstein.
today. Yeah.
His ties to Epstein. She was worried that it was going to come out that Bill, you know you are, Bill. You're a little kitty piddler. You know you are. Epstein was a sex offender, yet you still went to him for his money and went to his island and hung out with him multiple times after he was labeled a sex offender.
Yep.
You know you're a little kitty diddler. Fuck you, Bill. You know nothing about science and vaccines. I'm not going to put anything you fucking openly talk about and anything you talk about actually besides Microsoft and computers. Fuck you, pal.
Yeah.
Little known fact. I hope you all saw that. I hope you all read that. Epstein didn't kill himself.
No, he didn't. Anyway,
Yeah.
this has been,
Couple pints pod.
I think it's safe to say,
We're out.
bye.
Also, shout out KCBC. Amazing beer, 6.9%. You
Shouts
rock.
out J. Cole.
Shout out J.
Amazing
Cole.
album. 6.9% out of 7.
Yeah. Well, bye, everybody. Hope you had a great week.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know. Love you.